"Mommy, why is Baba Segun dying?" Those were the words 15-year-old Zara whispered as doctors rushed the old gateman into the emergency room. Nobody had answers. Just an hour earlier, he had been sitting peacefully outside the gate, eating a plate of rice. Now he was fighting for his life. What nobody knew was that the food he ate was never meant for him. It was meant for the family, and the person behind it was someone they trusted like a daughter. Years earlier, when Oluchi arrived in Lagos, she had nothing. No money, no connections, no place to stay. Life had pushed her into a corner. Then she met the Ola family. Mr. Ola and his wife didn't treat her like a servant. They gave her a room of her own, bought her clothes, paid her well. Even their daughter Zara treated her like an older sister. For the first time in years, Oluchi felt safe, loved, seen. At least, that's what she told herself. But sometimes, when people spend too much time looking at another person's blessings, they stop appreciating their own. And slowly, that was exactly what happened. Every week, Mr. Ola trusted Oluchi with errands. He would hand her his ATM card and ask her to buy groceries. The trust was complete. The kind of trust many people would never give. One afternoon, curiosity got the better of her. At a roadside POS stand, she checked the account balance. The amount stunned her. There was more money than she had ever imagined. From that day forward, something changed. She began checking the balance regularly, watching, comparing, dreaming. While the family saw opportunity, she saw inequality. While they saw hard work, she saw wealth, and jealousy quietly began replacing gratitude. Then everything got worse. One evening, Mr. Ola came home with life-changing news. He had secured a government contract worth millions. The house exploded with celebration. His wife cried tears of joy. Zara danced around the living room. Everyone was happy. Everyone except Oluchi. Standing silently in the kitchen doorway, she felt something dark settle inside her heart. A question, a dangerous one. Why should they have everything while I have nothing? That single thought changed everything. Over the next few weeks, greed became obsession. Obsession became a plan. And eventually, the plan became evil. She secretly wrote down the family's ATMPINs. She began preparing an escape route. Then she bought poison. Little by little, carefully enough that nobody would notice. The opportunity came on a Sunday. The family went to church. Oluchi stayed behind to prepare lunch. Rice, stew, their favorite meal. As the stew simmered, she stared into the pot. Her hands trembled. She knew she could still stop. She knew she could throw the poison away. But greed had already convinced her that she deserved everything they owned. So she poured it in and stirred. When the family returned from church, the table was ready. The food smelled incredible. Everything was perfect. Too perfect. Just before they began eating, Mr. Ola received an urgent phone call and had to leave immediately. His wife decided to wait for him. The food remained untouched, a decision that unknowingly saved their lives. A few minutes later, Zara walked past the dining table. Then she remembered Baba Segun. The elderly gateman often skipped meals. Without thinking twice, she packed him a plate, a simple act of kindness. One small decision, one moment, the kind of moment nobody remembers, until it changes everything. Hours later, screaming erupted from outside. Baba Segun had collapsed. His body convulsed violently. Foam gathered at the corners of his mouth. The family rushed him to the hospital, and there the truth began to surface. The doctors confirmed poisoning. Severe poisoning. The source was food. The same food waiting untouched at home. When Mr. Ola heard those words, something inside him went cold. He already knew where to look. Back at the house, Oluchi was waiting. Her bags were packed, her escape planned. She only needed confirmation that the family was dead. Instead, they walked through the front door alive and looking directly at her. At first, she denied everything. She cried, prayed, swore on her family, swore on God, swore on her future. But Mr. Ola wasn't listening. Without saying another word, he walked to the dining table, scooped some rice and stew onto a plate, returned to the living room, and placed it in front of her. Then he said 6 words she would never forget. Eat it if you're innocent. The room fell silent. Oluchi stared at the plate, then at Mr. Ola, then at Mama Zara. For the first time, fear replaced confidence, because she knew the game was over. With shaking hands, she took a spoonful, then another, then another. Minutes later, her body began reacting. The poison she prepared for others was now destroying her from the inside. As she collapsed, tears streamed down her face. Not fake tears, real ones, the kind that arrive when regret finally catches up with a person. As paramedics loaded her into the ambulance, she grabbed Mama Zara's hand, the same woman who had fed her, clothed her, protected her, loved her, and through broken sobs, she confessed everything. The stolen PINs, the planned escape, the poison, the jealousy, all of it. Baba Segun survived. By some miracle, he survived. And for months afterward, Zara couldn't stop thinking about one thing. If she had not shared that plate, her parents would have eaten it. She would have eaten it. Their entire family could have disappeared that day, all because of someone they chose to trust. Years later, the Ola family recovered and moved forward, but they never forgot the lesson. Not about poison, not about money, not even about betrayal. They remembered something much simpler. A single act of kindness nearly cost Baba Segun his life, but that same act of kindness also saved an entire family. Because sometimes the smallest decisions carry the biggest consequences, and sometimes the people closest to your table are the ones you must know best before offering them a seat. If you learned something from this video, please subscribe and leave a comment. And if you are feeling very generous today, you just hit that like button as well.